Somewhere in America right now, someone is opening a letter from an oil company offering to buy something they didn't even know they owned. A relative passed away, some papers changed hands, and buried in that estate was a quiet little asset called mineral rights, the ownership of what's under a piece of land. Most people who inherit these have no idea what they have, what it's worth, or what to do with it. So they either ignore it, or they sell it to the first buyer who calls, often for a fraction of its value. This is the first video in a series on one of the most overlooked assets in America. If you've inherited mineral rights, own land, or just got one of those letters, this is the explanation nobody gave you. Welcome back to The Quiet Rich. First, let's clear up what mineral rights even are, because the whole thing hinges on one idea most people have never heard. Land ownership can be split in two. There's the surface, the dirt you walk on where a house or crops or cattle sit. And there's the minerals, everything underneath, oil, natural gas, and other resources down in the rock. In much of the country, especially states like Texas and Oklahoma, those two can be owned by completely different people. One family can own the surface, and a totally different family can own the minerals beneath it. So, when you inherit mineral rights, what you own is the right to the oil and gas under that ground, and the right to lease it to a company that will produce it, in exchange for a share of the money. You don't have to drill anything. You don't have to know anything about oil. You just own what's down there. Here's why this matters so much. Minerals can sit quiet for generations. No income, nothing happening, just an ownership on paper passed down through a family, often forgotten. And then one day, a company wants to drill nearby, and that quiet piece of paper suddenly starts mailing checks. Mineral rights are patient. They can skip a generation and still pay the next one. If you own minerals, there are two main ways they put money in your pocket. Knowing the difference protects you from getting taken. First, the lease bonus. When an oil company wants to drill, they lease your minerals. They pay you an upfront amount per acre just for the right to explore and produce for a set period. That's the bonus. It's a one-time payment, and it can range from modest to substantial depending on where your minerals sit and how badly companies want in. Second, and far more important, the royalty. This is the magic of minerals. When you sign a lease, you keep a royalty, a percentage of the revenue from every barrel of oil and every unit of gas the well produces. You did no work. You took no risk. The company spent millions to drill, and a slice of the revenue gets mailed to you month after month for as long as that well produces. This is the textbook mailbox money we keep coming back to on this channel, and it can run for decades. Here's the part most inheritors don't grasp: that royalty is why mineral rights can be so valuable and exactly why buyers send those letters. When someone offers to buy your minerals, they're often betting those royalty checks are worth far more over time than the lump sum they're offering you today. Sometimes selling is the right call, but you can't know that until you understand what you're being asked to give up. Because so few people understand minerals, the same costly mistakes happen over and over. Here are the big ones. Avoid these and you're ahead of most inheritors. Mistake 1. Selling to the first letter. Those unsolicited offers to buy your minerals are not charity. They come from people who do this for a living and expect to profit. The first offer is rarely the best, and a quick yes can leave serious money on the table. There's nothing wrong with selling. There's a lot wrong with selling blind. Mistake 2. Not knowing what you own. Many inheritors don't even know how many acres they hold, where exactly, or whether anything's producing. You can't value or protect an asset you haven't mapped. Step 1 is always figure out exactly what you've got on paper. Mistake 3. Signing a lease without understanding it. That first lease a company offers is written to favor them. The royalty rate, the terms, the protections. These are negotiable. People who sign the first draft often lock themselves into worse terms for years. Mistake 4. Letting it get lost. Minerals passed down casually. No clear records, no will, no plan, can become a legal mess for the next generation, or get quietly lost altogether. An asset that can pay your grandkids deserves to be documented and protected. The thread through all 4. Information is the whole game in minerals. The people who profit at the inheritor's expense are simply counting on the inheritor not knowing what they have. Knowing is your protection. Now, the guardrails, because minerals are real, but they're not a fantasy, and this channel doesn't sell fantasies. First, not all minerals are valuable. Owning mineral rights does not mean you're sitting on a fortune. Plenty of acreage will never be drilled, or sits where there's little worth producing. Location is everything. Don't assume an inheritance is a gold mine, and don't assume it's worthless either. It needs to be evaluated. Second, royalty income is not guaranteed or steady. Wells decline over time. Oil and gas prices swing hard. A check that's large one year can shrink the next. Mineral income is real mailbox money, but it's lumpy mailbox money. Never bet your life on a single Wells check staying the same. Third, this is a field full of sharks. The information gap that hurts inheritors also attracts people who exploit it. Be cautious with anyone pressuring you to sell or sign fast. Legitimate value doesn't evaporate if you take time to understand it. Pressure is itself a warning sign. Fourth, get qualified help for anything serious. Valuing minerals, negotiating leases, handling title and inheritance, these can involve real money and real legal complexity. A reputable landman, a mineral-savvy attorney, or a qualified appraiser earns their fee when real dollars are on the line. We're explaining the landscape, not replacing professional advice on your specific minerals. So you think you might own minerals, or you just got the letter. Here's where a normal person starts calmly. Step 1. Don't sign or sell anything yet. Whatever offer is in front of you, it will still be there after you understand it. Pressure to act fast is the one thing you should refuse on principle. Step 2. Figure out exactly what you own. Track down the documents, deeds, the estate paperwork, any past lease or royalty statements. Identify the acreage and where it sits. This is the foundation for everything else. Step 3. Find out if anything's producing. Are there active wells? Are royalties being paid, or sitting unclaimed somewhere? Sometimes there's already money owed to you that nobody's collected. Step 4. Get it valued before you decide anything. Whether you want to hold for royalties or sell, you need to know what it's actually worth, not what a buyer tells you. That's the difference between a smart decision and a regret. And the big picture point for this channel. Mineral rights, understood and held, are one of the purest forms of generational wealth that exists. No tenants, no management. A check that can pay your family for decades and pass cleanly to your kids. The people who treat their minerals carelessly lose them. The people who understand them quietly keep getting paid. This was the overview. In the next videos in this series, we'll go deeper. How to read a lease, how minerals are valued, how to decide whether to sell or hold, and how those royalty checks actually reach your mailbox. If you own minerals, inherited them, or just want to understand the most overlooked income stream in America, this series is for you. Subscribe so you catch every part. And if this helped you see something you own in a new light, that's the whole point. The rich stay quiet about this stuff. We won't.